On August 2nd, 1876 AD, Old West folk hero, former gunfighter and professional gambler Wild Bill Hickok was murdered. He was 39 years old. His murderer, broken-nosed Jack McCall, shot him in the back of the head with a Colt Model 1873 single-action Army 45 caliber revolver. In the final months of his life, Bill retired from show business due to his vision problems and avoided gunfights and became a professional gambler. After getting married on March 5, 1876, to a circus owner named Agnes Lake, the two newlyweds spent a few months together before he decided to try his luck in the South Dakota Territory. He joined his best friend, Colorado Charlie Uter's wagon train and headed off to the town of Deadwood. Uter tried to watch out for his buddy's back whenever he was out gambling and tried to keep an eye on his alcohol consumption. Hickok and Uter in Deadwood also befriended another Old West legend, Calamity Jane, who was an Army Scout, dance hall girl, and pioneer. Wild Bill arrived in Deadwood on July 15, 1876, with Charlie Uter's wagon train. He made his presence known by being a highly skilled gambler. One of his favorite spots was the New Toll and Man Saloon, where he liked to drink and gamble. On August 1, 1876, a very drunk Jack McCall joined a card game that involved Wild Bill Hickok and a few other players. McCall lost quite a few hands in that game, along with all of his money. Wild Bill, feeling sorry for the dude, gave McCall some money to buy breakfast and told him not to play again until he had enough money to cover his gambling losses. McCall took the money but felt ashamed and insulted by Wild Bill's offerings and vowed to get even with him. The next day, Wild Bill went back to the New Toll and Man Saloon to drink and gamble some more. Wild Bill, a superstitious fellow, always sat with his back towards the wall so he could keep an eye out on whoever came into the saloon. One day, another gambler, Charles Rich, was sitting in his spot. Hickok asked if he could sit in his seat, but Rich refused to give up his spot. After playing a few hands, Jack McCall walked into the saloon, pulled out his 45 caliber revolver, and shouted, "Damn you! Take that!" He shot him in the back of the head, killing him instantly. McCall tried to escape from the saloon by running out the back door, but he was finally apprehended after he fell off of his horse while trying to mount it during his getaway. Wild Bill was playing a game of five-card stud when he was murdered, and he supposedly had a pair of aces and a pair of eights in his hand when he died. It would later be known as the dead man's hand. Charlie Uter had his best friend buried at the Mount Moriah Cemetery. He wasn't with Wild Bill at the time of his death. His funeral was on August 3rd, and it was attended by most of the people in the town. Jack McCall was tried twice for the murder of Wild Bill Hickok. The first trial was held in a miners' camp. He claimed that Wild Bill killed his brother years ago in Abilene, Kansas, and he was getting revenge. He was acquitted after 2 hours of deliberations. After the trial, McCall fled the Dakota Territory and headed for Wyoming. He lived there for a while, trying to make himself a celebrity because he killed Wild Bill Hickok, but the federal authorities arrested him for his murder. He tried to use the double jeopardy clause as his defense, but the federal court did not recognize the Deadwood verdict, so he could be retried for Wild Bill Hickok's murder. He was tried on December 4, 1876, and it ended 2 days later. McCall was convicted of Wild Bill Hickok's murder and was sentenced to death. He was hanged on March 1, 1877.